The Alabama Crimson Tide went to the pros to get Charles Bediako on their team. And rightfully so, the Florida Gators saw that and said, you know what? Belt to ass.
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Gators, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day every day. We are available daily and free, right in the podcast and on YouTube. I am your host, Brandon Olsen, lifelong Florida Gators fan. Joining me now is Mark Burley from Mark It Down on YouTube. Mark, how you doing?
Doing all right. Just watched Florida just take care of business. Todd Golden did his thing, like he said.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people asking for the belt in the comments section right now. I'm glad to inform you that I don't have it in here with me. And I also wanted to be respectful to Mark because I don't know if you know this, Mark, but when Florida puts belt to ass on an opponent, we usually take the belt out, start snapping it. We're going to be a little bit respectful of people's ears today. But man, felt good, Mark. And look, Mark, you're obviously not a Florida Gators fan, but you do cover basketball, college basketball. You've been covering Florida for about a year. You've been doing shows about them. What did you take away from that? I almost called it a game. What did you take away from that absolute massacre?
What did I take away? Okay, watching the game completely. And I normally don't ever watch like live games because I try to be surprised when I do my reactions. But the first thing I saw was complete domination from Alex Condon and Thomas Howell. Especially Condon. It just seems like he loves playing Alabama. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, I would like it if every week if every game they were just like, hey, this is definitely Alabama. Just go ahead, we're playing Alabama right now. Don't worry about it. Just act like it. Because then we would maybe get a little bit of consistency from him there. Can I ask, because obviously like we've never done a show together. What is your take on the Charles Bediako situation?
Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it, although I do Alabama content as well. I just feel like college basketball right now, when it comes to the rules, there's a lot of things that just aren't really aligning to where we want it to be. And I know, the court date's coming up. We'll find out some news about that. But I'm not really the biggest fan. It does make Alabama look a little bit better. Not tonight. I mean, not today.
Not that game.
I mean, Ruben absolutely dogged him. But I think that overall, I think they'll be better at the end of the year if he is playing. But honestly, not feeling the best about it. They got to figure some things about that situation.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is just like, I think that there's, nuance to a bunch of it. Like if you're like Alex Condon played, like youth pro basketball in Australia and then came here, and Urban Klavjar was playing overseas. I think that there's a nuance to it that says if you play pro overseas and then come to college and you're still a college age, that's fine. I think that once you come to college though, and you say, hey, I'm going to go pro and forfeit my eligibility, and you follow through the process, of course, because there's plenty of guys that say, hey, I'm going to go pro, and then before the draft come back. But once you go pro and you say, hey, I'm going to forfeit my eligibility, go through the draft process, you find out you really suck because you went undrafted, and then you fail for a couple years. I don't think you should then say, hey, you know what, 17-year-old or 18-year-old child that wants an opportunity? No, I need to come back and still suck. By the way, I need to come back and still be just ass on this court. That's just like, that's what I have to do. But like for Florida, it feels like they're clicking after the Auburn loss, right? Like the Auburn loss was not a fun one. And then they came out since then and they dominated South Carolina. I mean, that was offensive what they did to South Carolina. Like South Carolina finished with 48. Florida had 48 at the half. And then you have this Alabama game where, you win by 23. I wish you won by more. I hope that Alabama gets the belt every single game they play for the rest of the year. But I feel like we're also at the point where this is what happened last year with Florida at some points, where it's like, oh, you lose a game you probably shouldn't lose. Then you go belt to ass for a few games. And then do you come back? Or are you able to maintain that level of play? Because I don't know, like if they play every game how they played tonight, then I'm like, yeah, this team, or today, then I'm like, yeah, this team's right back into a deep March Madness run. But I also go, that's not sustainable. Like saying, hey, Alex Condon, you're gonna get 25 points on 15 shots. I know that's not happening every game. Like that's just that point to even want to expect that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But if I had to ask you a question, do you think that Florida's the best team in the SEC right now? Just after what you've seen the last couple of games, I know take away the Auburn game, which Auburn beat Arkansas as well. So you beat my Vols as well. So hate to bring that up. But if you had to say who's the best team in the SEC or just top 3 best SEC teams, who would you say?
I think Florida's the top team in the SEC right now. I think they're playing like look, before the year, I was like, I think that the expectation should be to go back to back, just not even because of the talent. Like I knew damn well, was very open that, hey, this team's not going to be as lethal from 3. I don't have, like, we shouldn't expect that for them, for those comebacks. I just think that, when you win, the expectation should be, hey, keep winning. But I didn't think that they'd be this dominant in SEC play. We had quite a few people that were, after the Missouri loss, I think it was, that were just like, oh, we're not even making the tournament. And it's just like, and then once you get going, it was but I think Florida right now is the best team in the SEC. They're or at least I'll say they're at least playing like it at this very moment. Even the Auburn loss, like, that was a bad game, but I feel like there were some things in that game, like even on the glass, where you can kind of just go, that was uncharacteristically bad. And so I have a hard time. Like, that's one of those games I kind of just flush and go, all right, like that happened. That's not going to happen every night. So we could just call that one a day. Like, even like Auburn was attacking Ruben Chinyelu. They were getting him off the dribble and just driving. And he strapped Alabama today every time that he had the chance. So it's tough there.
Yeah.
How about you?
I totally agree. I think Florida's the best team in the SEC right now. And it's because Arkansas did not help themselves yesterday with that Kentucky loss at all. You just can't lose at home, which, I mean, it's happened to Tennessee. It's happened to Kentucky and, obviously Florida as well. But I just feel like Florida overall, the way Todd is just backing up his talk right now, saying that, hey, Nate Oats is going to bring his team here with the G League player and we're going to beat him. And he didn't just beat him. I mean, beat him by 20, dropped 100. Just incredible what I'm seeing right now. And I know Congdon, Thomas Howell and Cooper are going to see what I'm saying right now. And they may brag a little bit because it's my Vols. I'm a Vols fan, but I believe in you guys. I really do. I think you guys are number 1 for sure. Yeah, I mean, look, they're just, I'll say Condon is someone that I've been incredibly critical of, but I'm going to keep doing it. But hell of a game. And we even had someone put the quote in the chat there, said they were able to finagle it where they got a judge that's actually an Alabama donor to write a temporary restraining order. We're going to beat them anyways. If he plays, we'll beat them anyways. And then not only did he play and kind of really sucked, I just want to throw that out, the fouling out and just getting bullied by Chinyelu, getting bullied. Like, Condon did so much damage from just right under the basket. Like, which is the thing that frustrates me because I feel like he's really good there. And there's just some games where he just doesn't want to attack. And it's like, just tell him there's a G League player under the basket every single game. And then we'll keep talking about how you're putting belt to ass on everybody. But I will say, because again, this is a Florida team that, like, you destroyed Alabama by 23. But, they turned the ball over 18 times, which is a testament to your defense. I mean, they were just harassing out there. But also, you shot 3 for 13 from 3, which is still just 23%. And that's one where you kind of go, in March, just how far can you really go with inconsistent guard play? I'll say, because Xavier Lee, 3 for 11 shooting, just he's not been able to find his shot at all. Boogie Fland almost had a triple double today, by the way. I don't know if anybody, they had 15 points, 8 assists, and 8 steals. So almost had a triple double. Who was it? Iman Shumpert at Georgia Tech, I think, had a triple double, and it was points, assists, and steals.
So you had that going or almost going. But yeah, with March, it's tough to be able to be like, oh yeah, like we can not be a threat from three at all and still be a threat like on the team. It's tough for me saying that.
Yeah, it's because when you're in March, you find these teams, and I got to bring up Loyola Chicago, of course, Tennessee, but you find one of those teams that hit maybe like 15 to 23s in a game, and then you're shooting, like you said, 3 for 13 from three. Are you going to win that game? Unless you're just dominating the paint and you're getting stops somehow on defense. I just don't really know how it's going to sustain. But I mean, Todd's finding ways to win somehow right now in the SEC.
I know, it's wild to me. Like when we see how poorly this team shoots sometimes. Like if you told me, oh hey, by the way, they're going to shoot 23% from three today, go 3 for 13. Alabama's going to shoot 41% from three and shoot 14 for 34. I'm not saying Florida's going to win that game. Like it happened, but I'm not going to go into that and go, oh yeah, Florida's winning that game without a doubt in my mind. But hey, sometimes the opposing team brings in a G leaguer that couldn't cut it in the G League and just isn't good enough, and honestly can't even cut it in the SEC now. Big dog's barking out here, so sorry about that one. Just want to say that Nate Oats, you can cry and complain all you want, but belt to ass, buddy. Mark, we're going to talk more about this game, more about this belt that the Florida Gators delivered to the Alabama Crimson Tide when we get back with Locked On Gators. It is the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to get in on the action before the NFL season officially comes to a close. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel's making sure you're right in the middle of it with a special offer just in time for the biggest game of the year. So whether you're backing the Patriots, the Seahawks, Mark, who are you backing in the Super Bowl?
Well, man,
I'll kick you right off. Okay, all right. So I'll kick you right off this show if you're going to say Patriots right now. If you're a new customer, bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Make it count because after the Super Bowl, the season is over. There's no more football on FanDuel until next year. An official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And this is Mazda's moving the game forward. For those who know that there's more to the score than what's on screen, and I'm going to be completely selfish here. I have a soft spot for Boogie Fland. And so I'm giving Boogie Fland this moving the game forward moment. 8 steals is just ridiculous. He has had a wild year, especially with how he started was just horrendous. Just gonna be honest there, but he's refined things. He's gotten a lot better, and Mazda puts that same passion into every model. They highlights make the real, and what it took to get there makes it count. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you. Thanks again for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. Every day, we are available daily and free, every single podcast and on YouTube. I am Brandon Olsen, joined by Mark Burley. And Mark, I gotta say, yeah, it feels good. Like I went into this game, and we spoke about it briefly off air before the game or before going live. Like I wanted us, because we set this collab up a couple weeks ago. I wanted us to be able to talk about this like really intense game that was close and back and forth. But I'm kind of happier that it was just an ass whooping. Like I'm kind of happy that we get to just go up here and go, oh yeah, we get to talk about the belt that just got delivered to Nate Oats, to Charles Bediako, to that entire Alabama Crimson Tide fan base that, by the way, deserves every last one of every last atom on the belt. They deserve it. And it's just wild to watch this team. I feel like they're hitting their stride again after, again, a very uncharacteristic performance when hosting Auburn.
Yeah. And I think the style of play that Alabama plays sometimes can really like hurt them. They do shoot a lot of threes. Like I saw one thing on TV today. They said that Alabama takes 53%. Like when it comes to shots, when it comes from the 3-point line. I don't like that at all personally. It just gives me flashes of the Houston Rockets back in the day with James Harden. All they did was shoot threes. Yes, they made to the conference finals a lot, a couple of times, but it's just not championship winning basketball. And Florida is just not going to lose to teams like that. Like just the way that Todd coaches, like the way his style of coaching, they won 5 straight against him. So, what more do you have to see out of Florida? But I don't know, man. Florida's really impressed me, man. They are impressed me.
Yeah, you mentioned, the 53% of their field goal attempts are threes. That's third in the nation behind only Louisville and VMI. Third in the nation there. And the thing is, like, that, and you could talk about this last year with Florida too, right? When Florida played Tennessee and it was like 74-44 or whatever that game was. Like you can say, hey, we're going to live and die by the three, but if you have a game where it's just not falling, which I'm not going to pretend I was ever good at basketball, but like I played basketball. I know, like, sometimes it's really not falling for you that day. If you're going to live and die by the three, those games when it's not falling, that's going to, like, it's really not falling. And even tonight, like, they were falling, but if you're going to turn the ball over 18 times and just give up, let me see the ESPN points in the paint stat if they have. Yeah. Alabama had 77 points in the game. Florida had 72 points in the paint in this game alone. Like that, 72 points in the paint.
Gosh.
And then you just count Florida's 3 threes and they win the game there. You don't have to count the 17 free throws that they made or any other twos. It's just the points in the paint and then the three. I mean, it's just, you're not going to win. And like, that's one thing with Alabama, like the commentators were even talking about it. They're like, oh, this Alabama team is looking great. He's doing great things. Like they're about as good as you're going to get. And it's like, really? Because they don't seem it. I feel like everybody, even when we watch the games, are just like, oh, like Alabama, we know what they are, right? They're an up-tempo, perimeter-centric team, but they don't play defense at all. They especially don't protect the paint. I mean, Exhibit A, 72 points in the paint. They aren't good enough on like protecting offensive glass. Like, I don't know. I congratulations on being number 23 in the country, but number 23 in the country is not winning your national championship. Like all the people that want to say that Alabama is a blue blood that I see in my comments. Ixnay. Just want to throw that one out there.
They're not at all. And like they woke up my boy Nate Mint. I just want to say that already. When he went to Alabama, I mean, he had like 29 points there. And I'm like, you guys just do not protect the paint at all. I thought, the G Leaguer would do something about that. I mean, Florida still dominated paint. Like you said, 72 points in the paint. That's just absolutely insane. I mean, you guys do have the best front court in basketball, though. Let's be honest. But those guys are good. But
it's 72?
70, yeah. I can't even. I'm trying to find a way to defend Alabama. I really can't. I can't.
They're trying to find a way to defend anything too. So if that helps, you're not the only one struggling to find a defense out there. But like 72 is actually crazy because that's more than, I'm going to say, a good amount of team score per game. Just points. Not even talking about, not even saying just like points in the, just points. I feel like 72. There's probably so many teams that aren't even scoring that, and Alabama just gave that up in the paint alone. Like they should be absolutely embarrassed by whatever the hell they want to call that performance out there. And Florida should be absolutely proud of that belt. Just when you get Ollie in the game against Alabama, when he gets to score the 100th point, I want to know if they were like, Ollie, you need to be the guy to get us to 100.
I gotta see that. I can't wait to see that. I'm gonna be hyped. Just letting you know.
Like I want to, I need to know if that was the conversation that they put out there. I see you all in the chat. I know that you guys are all popping off. I love you all. We love you all. I'm just not as engaging with the chat as much right now because we have Mark here. We're talking, and I would like to ask you as well. What do you think is more impressive, obviously from Florida's side of things, but what's more impressive, forcing the 18 turnovers on Alabama, or playing the pace that game was played at and only turning the ball over twice?
Yeah, definitely playing the pace and only turning over the ball twice, because as a former guard, like that's not easy. If you're playing that fast, obviously, like as a guard, especially if you're winning, you want to make some flashy plays. You want to throw alley-oops, which at the end of the game, they definitely almost turned it over a couple times. Congdon and Thomas saved them a couple times of saving the ball and bounce. But like, still, though, they played clean in that first half, like really clean. And they were playing fast. And I got to give credit to Boogie for that. And even Xavier was playing fast. He's not shooting the best, but he's been a good playmaker so far.
Yeah, I get really torn about both Boogie and Xavier because I'm like, I think Boogie is honestly outside of shooting. I think he's playing great. Like I think the way that he facilitates for the offense is great. The way he plays just harassing defense at all times is great. He attacks the glass, and I'm not gonna say always, but I feel like in certain games they're kind of like, all right, like we need a little bit more presence there. You got to go in there. And so you've seen it a lot. We had Dan Glockner in the chat chatting you out. I just want you to know that. Dan is not here often, but every time I see him, I'm like, oh, that he's out there. But like so Boogie he's doing everything except shooting well right now. Xavier, I am a little bit harsher on because he's not the primary facilitator. So like I can't even be like, oh, he's running the offense well. He also attacks the glass. He's also out there. Defense isn't as good. But I still feel like if he's a net negative, it's like barely a net negative. And I'm kind of just like, well, if you're barely a net negative there and everyone's going, oh, you're playing horribly. I feel like if it's like, all right, just like a little bit cleaner. And then we're talking about just like you're a positive there and you're part of this rotation that is overwhelmingly positive right now. So I feel like there's like a lot of crap that both Boogie and Xavier get, but I don't get it. I understand it, but I don't know. I just can't give the same crap to him, especially when I know the alternative. I love the guy is Urban Klavjar, and I'm like, he's not a starting guard.
Yeah, great six man though to come off the bench. Great shooter to come off the bench. But I mean, a guy that I like to talk about that's actually not getting enough love is Isaiah Brown. Like just getting to talk to him a lot. He's a good guy personally, but him in general, like he just brings that energy. And like when him and like, you know, Herb, I know people know that I have a nickname for Urban, so I'm trying to not say the nicknames today, guys. But Urban, like they both come off and bring that energy. And I think it helps like people like Boogie, people like Xavier and Lee, who are not shooting the best. So Florida's got something going right now. They got something going.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Isaiah Brown to just get the minutes up a tiny bit more. I just want like 15 minutes per game consistently. That's it. None of this like, oh, you're going to play 17 this game and 4 the next. Like none of that stuff. I just want to see, 15 per game. But I do also want to know what that conversation is like for Ruben Chinyelu, Isaiah Brown, and Todd Golden when they both went up for the alley-oop and they ended up screwing it up completely. I need to know what that conversation ended up being like, because like I get it. Like I do. If you see the ball go up and you're someone that can just live above the rim, like I get wanting to do that. Not that I've ever been able to do that at all, but like for someone that can, like I'd imagine it's just like a light just turns on and then they both just did it now. And then immediately, by the way, foul on a 3-point shot. It was an end one, and it's just like, oh, come on, dude. Like that's just such a bad. I wanted to say 30 seconds. It's such a bad 8 seconds of basketball because it's just so quick. It was so fast. That's just one of those brutal moments for you. But like Isaiah Brown,
I was hoping Isaiah got it. I was really dead. I really wanted him to get it.
I thought he was.
Yeah, dunking on Chinyelu, right?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, Isaiah seems closer. So I would have been like, oh, the closer guys who gets dibs on that one. But I also get Chinyelu kind of being like, I don't shoot that much. It's like putbacks, the occasional hook. Like I don't shoot that much. I had 12 shots tonight, but I mean, also you had, I don't think I've ever seen this, 5 players with double-digit field goal attempts for Florida. I feel like that never happens with them. Nice. But unsurprisingly, one of those players shot 3 for 11. Xavier, thanks. Throw that out there. Just gonna throw that one out there. A little bit more consistent, man, and we're cooking. But Mark, before I let you go, anything you want to say? Anything you want to shout out? You want to go ahead and just admit that while you are a Vols fan, the Florida Gators are exponentially better and just such a better program. Anything you want to say out there?
I won't get to that because Tennessee fans are starting to like me a little bit more. So I'm gonna try to be nice about my Vols.
I'm gonna take that as you admitting it by omission. I throw that out there.
I will say that Florida fans have been really awesome. You guys have shown so much love to my channel. And just like Dan said, The Auburn and Florida reaction video that I did during Final Four, it was one of my favorites. But Florida is just so exciting to watch. That's the reason why I did it. And, Coop, me and him built a relationship. And it really just led to just being like, hey, Florida content is something that you can never stop. You guys are one of the nicest fan bases, which Tennessee fans don't really understand. We do have a rivalry. I understand that. But if you can just show positivity sometimes, like you never know what the outcome is. And I think that you Florida fans have done so much for me. And I'm going to continue it. So hope you guys watch my reaction video after this, because it's going to get a little crazy. So
yeah. And you know what it is? I'm sorry. I know you mentioned you literally just went, oh yeah, like just keep positivity. I think that some of the reason that like Tennessee fans don't understand much of it is because I think that a lot of the Tennessee fan base doesn't understand anything. And so you were going to agree. And then you're like, oh wait, no, he's going way too far with it. I get it.
Almost got me. Almost got me.
I'm going to get you one of these days. But thank you so much, Mark. This was Mark Burley. Make sure to follow him on YouTube with Mark It Down. And yeah, I am Brandon Olsen. We're Locked On Gators, and we'll see you all next time.